Hi and welcome. It is Thanksgiving week, and I hope everybody is doing great, doing lots of cooking. Do you have your grocery shopping at least started, or maybe you've completed? So, what are we going to talk about today? Heather and I are here from Balanced Health Styles, and we really want to talk about how to make this Thanksgiving fun, entertaining, and yes, improve your health. So, what are we going to talk about? Well, Thanksgiving equals thankfulness, it equals gratefulness. But how about when we gather? What does it mean when we create connections? Heather, what are your thoughts about Thanksgiving and creating connections?
Yeah, I grew up in a really big family, and my parents always, tried to make sure that there were games for the children and the adults played games as well. But we always felt like the games they played were boring. And so, um, as I have gotten into being an adult, and now there are multi generations below me, I kind of thought, why couldn't we create connections across the generations and play games that the adults and the children could like to create a shared experience and create memories. So I think that's what I want to talk about today, engaging and connecting.
I love it. You know what? Connection to me, as a communication minor, it's so connection communicating, and there's so many different ways that we communicate. And when we think about connection, well, I mean, as humans, one of our basic needs, and we cannot deny it, is the need to belong. And when you're in a game, especially when you're with people who you just love so dearly, who you enjoy to be around, or maybe there's some people who are going to play the games with you who you go, I know there's certain subjects we don't want to talk about, but let's play a game. It really can create that sense of purpose and belonging. And I just really have cool conversations as you're playing that game. So, if we're talking about games, and games are really just a fun way to bring people together. Do you have some ideas of some games, Heather? I know I have some here that I can share.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas. So some of them are kind of active. Maybe you would go outside to play them. And, some examples, if you have the equipment, cornhole, things that you can do on the lawn, right? Get outside, get a little bit of activity, maybe before the big Thanksgiving meal, maybe afterwards when people are like, oh, I'm so stuffed, let's go out and take a walk. Well, that sounds a little bit boring, but what if you were able to go out and play cornhole? Or if you have a croquet set, I was like, what if people don't have a croquet set? Like, what could we do that would be fun and hilarious for kids? And I remembered like track and field type, I don't know, activities. And one of them's called like tra- Yam Traffic Jam or something. I can't really remember, but long story short, you get a spoon and a couple of sweet potatoes, which are irregularly shaped, and you have to move it from like the start line to the finish line with just the spoon. And it's not as easy as you would think. They go all over the place. People are laughing, hilarious. And I really enjoyed that. So being able to get outside, maybe some fresh air, if you have the space in, your community that you could do that, and adults and children can enjoy this. And if you're taking pictures, like that's amazing that you can share this with other people. Um, I was thinking about board games, Game of Life, Sorry. Uh, let's see, if you have dominoes, you can play. Oh, I said Mexican Train for dominoes. Cards is Uno. That's a hilarious game. Actually, we're a little bit savage with Uno. So, Pictionary is pretty versatile. You can have like a big piece of paper that someone can stand up and be drawing, or you could have personal tablets of paper. So it's really flexible with what equipment that you have. Um, and then, kids are really into their electronics. So instead of them individually being, plugged into their phone and not engaging with other people, what bridges the gap? And that might be console games. And I don't know, I'm Gen X and we kind of grew up with console games. Um, and to kind of call back to that, I got obsessed with the Nintendo Switch because they have a fitness game called Adventure Fit. And it looks like a Pilates yoga thing. I tell you what, this is mine and I share it with the children and they are just delighted to play games and it gets us active inside the home in case the weather's not good, in case, um, you don't have like a safe environment outside. Maybe you don't have a yard because you're in an apartment or something like that. You can have some activity that's inside the home, warm. Other people can be watching and cheering you on. It's just, it makes a lot of memories. So those are the ones that I kind of came up with. I wish I had a Dance Dance Revolution mat. That would be amazing.
I think I was talking to my daughter yesterday, who's now in college. We actually do for the Wii Fit or for the Wii, if you remember that. Now, I don't even know if the Wii's still going. Hey, if anybody's watching this now or on the replay, if you have a Wii or if you know that Wii is still around, give us a shout out. I'd really love to know. We have a lot of cool games. I remember playing the Guitar Hero, and
Oh my
doing that.
God,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, just wanting to excel because I've always been a secret, like I want to be a rock star and I want to play guitar, and Guitar Hero kind of filled that need, and it was so much fun. I mean, I was terrible, but playing it with the kids and playing it with people who were at our house, it was just so much fun. Talking about safe environments and games outside and things like that. I live in South Dakota, and we can never predict what our Thanksgiving weather is going to be like. We could have tons of snow, or we could have no snow, and it could be 60 or 70 degrees outside. It's looking like this year we're going to have about 50-degree weather. So sometimes we like to even just throw the football around. We're very much a football family. We love to watch it, to just go out, throw the football around. And yes, cornhole is a big one for us outdoors. And then it's bocce ball, I think. That's where you hit it through the little hoops.
So fun.
Yep, that's one. And then we have, I think it's called like ladder golf, where you throw the balls and it goes on a little ladder. That's really fun too. But found some cool ones. Hi, Lisa. It's snowing in Montreal, she said this morning. So your Thanksgiving is going to be games maybe indoors or sledding or things like that.
So right.
Yeah. So we were down in Houston visiting my son, and he had a game. He works at NASA, but a game called The Crew. I don't know if this is going to come in reverse or not, but what is so cool about this, and I need to tell you first, I looked up where you can find these games. This game is either $10 or $15 on right now at Target. It is $5. I'm seeing that if you want to buy games as gifts or have games for Thanksgiving, this is the time to be buying games because they are a lot cheaper than when I bought them. And these are recent games. So this Crew, the concept with this game is so neat because usually games are all about competition, like you're competing with another person. You know what's happening with the Crew? You are all collaborating together. So you get a mission and then you all work together to create that mission. It was such a cool concept to have, to play a game where we weren't competing to see who the winner is. We all end up being a winner. And then if you don't meet the mission, you all are losers. So talk about creating connections. So cool. I see Lisa saying another thing. Our Thanksgiving, oh yeah, that's right. In Canada, that's right. Thanksgiving is in October. My best friend in college was from Canada too. And I do remember she was from Saskatchewan. Regina, Saskatchewan is where she was from. Tenzi. This is a game right here. It's a dice game that I found out about visiting my daughter in Michigan this summer in Ann Arbor. So Tenzi too, it is much cheaper right now. I looked it up. Tenzi is at Walmart. It's $16. You can get a whole bunch of different kinds of it. But this is a game if you lack patience. And I am sorry that I say I am a yoga teacher, but I lack patience. You can play a game of Tenzi in 60 seconds if you want. There's so many different variations. It's really creative, and you can play with as many people as you want. It depends on, like, I have a couple of stacks of these dice so that we can play. And one thing that I have wanted to do and we haven't done with Tenzi is who's going to do the dishes. Play a 60-second game of Tenzi, and then that person is the person who's going to do, the loser is the person who's going to do the dishes, which is really fun. Um, Games have always been a big part of family gatherings. I know when my grandparents would come, we would play just tons of games. And so it can be multi generational. We have, it didn't matter what age group was in the house. We just would, when we all gathered together, we would play games, and the games would lead to conversation. Now, what would be the biggest games we would play? I don't know how many people out there are Pinochle players, but I learned how to play Pinochle at a very young age. And that just, it's been universal for both my husband's family and for my family to just be able to literally spend hours playing Pinochle. And if you do are learning to play Pinochle, let me give you a hint, because literally it took me, oh, I've been playing Pinochle since probably I was 10 years old. I could never remember what Pinochle was until my husband told me the guy with the ring asks the girl to marry him. And that means for Pinochle that the Jack of Diamonds, because he has the ring, asks the Queen of Spades to marry him. I mean, literally every time I played that doggone Pinochle, I would say, "What's Pinochle again?" I couldn't remember until, and that's too a little bit of learning styles. So much happens.
What
Um,
a great memory that you have
yeah, it
with
is just,
family.
it's so much fun. And I have two other ones that are my favorite game if we have time for it. They're
I
Sky
think we
Joe.
do.
This is a card game. I mentioned that I lack patience, so dice games, quick games, dice games, card games are my favorite. Sky Joe, this is like a memory game. It is so much fun and leads to so many conversations. This again, I looked at. You can buy it for $30 at Walmart, but I looked at Amazon, it's on sale for 15. So really, if you're looking at buying games or getting new games to play, let's see if I can turn it here. Getting new games to play, they're really good prices right now. New favorite game. I can tell you, I've been in the aisles at Target, and Target should give me a commission because I don't know how many of these games I sold already. And this was at the Rapid City, South Dakota Target that I was selling these games. So I was talking with my husband in the aisle, and I do not mind talking to anybody. I do love to create connections with anybody and everybody. So I was talking about this cool game, and I wondered if Target even had it. Well, that started drawing people into the conversation, going, "Well, what kind of game are you talking about?" Guess what? Target had it. My husband said, "Well, look, I did. I don't know why a game that looks so cool like this with all the images. I thought, there's no way Target's going to have a game like this." This is a game again that my son down in Houston had us play when we visited him. Azul. So that also is the name of my daughter's cat. I found it fascinating how the connections with this. This is a strategy game. It is so cool because it has you thinking. It has you, you think small picture and big picture. And when we are doing things that are related to our health, a lot of times we see the big picture and forget to look at the small pictures, those tiny steps. This game right here, it's tiny steps that lead to a reward. I love this game. Like, I can't wait to play it. We're going to play it today, and I am just like chomping at the bit to play it. The game costs like $40. When I looked it up, if anybody was interested for the links, again, Target has this game on sale for $16. If you love cool games, new games, run on out to Target, $16. And it is online too. You can get it online too. But I can't say enough about this new game, Azul. So we are getting close. We want to kind of keep these really short to 15 minutes. Heather, is there anything else that you want to say about games, or did you think of any new things?
I didn't really think of any new things, but I wanted to kind of circle back to what does this have to do with health? And we always look at, people's deep health, things that are, maybe above and beyond just what you're eating and working out, and ways that you can stay healthy at Thanksgiving is creating and maintaining and deepening those social connections. Um, People's social connections are directly related to health and longevity. Like, social connections is one of those determinants of health. So, you know, we want to tell you, enjoy the food. Enjoy all the things that are the sensations, the smells, the flavors, the textures that bring, those memories into the present, and take a little bit of time for movement and make sure that you're connecting with the people that you love. I did have one thought. We didn't look into any kinds of games that you could play over Zoom to connect with people that you're not able to travel with. We're not exactly quite out of COVID yet. So some people might be choosing to not travel where under normal circumstances they would. So maybe we'll think of something and put it in the comments of ways that you can play games with people over Zoom.
And this is one, even if you don't have Zoom, that I was just playing, and it is online. You can play it on your desktop. I'll say it right now. If you've played the Game of Things, they actually have one where you just go to Game of Things, and I can put the link into it where you can see the picture. You can line it up and you can see the picture, but it's not on Zoom. All you need to do is have a computer and you can play the game. And it is so much fun. The Game of Things is interactive and talking. So that is very fun because when you're at a distance, you can do, you can to see people is it's not as good as being right there, but it really does fill a lot of those needs. And I know Zoom. I use Jackbox a lot to do Zoom games because my kids are all over the place, and I like to connect with them.
Exactly.
Oh,
Lisa says we play Scriblio. Ooh, that
ooh,
sounds cool. Thanks for
yeah,
that
I've
tip.
heard of that one. So Lisa, is that on Zoom? Okay, I was just gonna ask. So Lisa says Scribio on Zoom. Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. We'll include that one in the link, and or if you have a link to it, Lisa, that would be great if you could drop it in the comments. So this was really fun. Connection, and just doing things that I know even if you're an introvert or you're an extrovert, it doesn't matter. Playing a game and just feeling that sense of belonging, well, that builds me up. It gives you purpose, it gives you motivation to just do the things that you want and need to do. And that's kind of what we're here at Balance Health Style. We're about what are the things that matter? What are the things that can move you forward? And right now, games are a really great thing to do. So if you like this conversation, feel free to share it with a friend if they are looking for Christmas ideas for games, or if you're looking for things to play right now, that would be great to share this with a friend. And hey, if you aren't following us right now, we definitely invite you to like or follow our page because we're going to come back every Tuesday at 9 o'clock and talk something that has to do with living a healthy lifestyle. And can it be balanced? Maybe that might be another question we'll come back and answer. So from there, Heather and I will see you next week. And hey, have a great Thanksgiving. Or if you're not having Thanksgiving, have a great week.
Bye.